everyone, welcome to the top 3 career modes English career modes you must do in FIFA 23. So we're just going to get straight into it. So we're going to talk about Nottingham Forest. I've updated a few of the player ratings just to make it look a little bit more, like FIFA 23. That makes any sense, to keep things fair. If any of you guys are new around here, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and let me know who your first career mode is going to be for FIFA 23. But anyway, let's get underway here. So Nottingham Forest obviously had a busy window. I think they were like the second or third highest spenders in the Premier League, bringing in players like Dennis, Teo, that's what I call him, so I can't pronounce his second name, Mangala, Nikata, Lodi, Nico Williams, Henderson, Gibbs-White, Lingard. They've made so many signings, Nottingham Forest. You've got players like Barley, Larea, who else is there? O'Brien, Kiyate, Richards, a massive window for Nottingham Forest. A lot of good players for a career mode as well. So, let me give you a little background on Nottingham Forest. Obviously, Nottingham Forest got promoted in the playoff final against Huddersfield, and they are also a club which have strong connections to the Greek team Olympiacos. Usually players go from Nottingham Forest to Olympiacos. But if you're looking for transfers, maybe try and look towards Olympiacos, try and build a connection with there, maybe try and get some Greek players in, or maybe try and see if you can maybe buy some players from the club Olympiacos. Forest don't really have like a transfer policy. They don't really go for like specific players, specific league. Like we got a La Liga Brazilian, we got a French Bundesliga centre back, got a Belgian Bundesliga centre mid, got Teo, a Bundesliga striker, Dennis, Championship striker from Watford, Thriller, midfielder from Serie A, Gibbs-White, Premier League English, Lingard, Premier League English, Kiyate, Premier League, with Palace, Omar Richard, Bayern Munich English, obviously O'Brien English, Huddersfield, Bayaude French, Ligue 1. It looks like they have signed quite a few Bundesliga players, so the Bundesliga could be a league to potentially look in towards. So Nakata, Mangala, Teo, them are some signs they signed from the Bundesliga, but even in the Serie A, they got quite a few ex-Serie A players here as well in this side. So you look at Romain Fuller of Atalanta. There was also actually, I think it might have been Romain Fuller that I'm thinking of. I don't think there's anyone else that's from the Serie A. But yeah, and obviously quite a few Premier League and relegated players from last season's Premier League teams. So yeah, Forest are a club former European Cup winners, won it twice. I would imagine Forest's budget would be actually quite reasonable, toward the start of FIFA 23. They're probably maybe around about the 40 million mark, I'd imagine. But in terms of improvements, in terms of signings, I really don't think you need to make that many. The only thing I think that could make this career mode a little bit more interesting is the fact that you do have a few loans at this club. So Dean Henderson on loan from Manchester United, Renan Lodi on loan from Atletico Madrid. So yeah, let me know who your first career is going to be. But Nottingham Forest and Balde, who's on loan from, I think it's Stade Rennais. The second team I would suggest would be Queen's Park Rangers, a club which have had a pretty alright last season. It looked like they were going to finish in the playoff spot under Mark Warburton, but they kind of ran out of steam toward the end of the season. Now points to the new manager, Villa's former assistant under Gerrard. I think his name's like Michael Beale. Good young manager. He's came in at QPR, and when I said they've had a facelift, they've had a facelift in terms of their squad. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new, pretty much first team players. Like obviously Tyler Roberts, Pal, the Dutch left back from Zoel. You got Balogun, a fantastic sign for QPR, formerly of Rangers, helped them massively towards the Europa League and also in the Scottish League as well. Ethan Laird, who I think is an incredible fullback, very quick, very pacey. But yeah, QPR is so much I think definitely have a squad to do well with playoffs. I think in the young team as well, you look at Sam Field, 23, Elias Chair, 24, Willop, 24. Rob Dickey, 26. Dunn, 24. Ethan Laird, 20. I don't even believe Pal's that old. No, 24. You know, you got Rank Dial, 23. Amos, 25. Richards, 21. Dazelle, 22. Salter, 23. 24, 24, 24. You know, they've got a good young team, QPR, to potentially try and build with some good experienced players in the side as well. You look at Balogun, Stefan Johansson, you know, some former Premier League players in this team that have played in the Premier League, like Johansson, Adoma, Roberts. You know, I don't know if Clark's sort of ever played in the Premier League for Chelsea. But yeah, it's a really good team. It's a really good team, this QPR squad. QPR's budget, you're probably looking towards next season, probably around about 4 to 5 million. QPR usually, in terms of signings, they usually go for like League One or Premier League talent, you know, like Premier League fringe players or loaned in players, you know, like youngsters. You look at Sam Field, he was in the Premier League for West Brom, made the move to QPR. You know, I think Willock, formerly of Arsenal, made the move to QPR. You know, Ethan Laird, Manchester United, good young fast fullback. You know, really good player, and excited to see how he will do at Loftus Road. Fantastic right back. He is on loan to QPR though, do a reminder of that. And then when you look at some of the other players like Rob Dickey, League One, usually QPR usually go for UK based players. It's very rare that they buy a foreign player, even though they did buy a foreign player in Pal. But you know, it's very rare that they do buy a player, you know, from foreign. Obviously Lyndon Dykes joined a few seasons ago from, I think it was that Scottish club, whose name escapes my head. Livingston. I think it's Livingston anyway, but Lyndon Dykes, fantastic player. QPR usually overplay with flat back four, like a 4-3-3, or they do sometimes play a 5 at the back, like a 5-2-1-2, like the formation we got. I think this is the best to use these players. Elias Che can be used as a winger as well. I think it only take 2 weeks to convert into a left winger or a right winger, because in dribbling and pace are one of his strong attributes. But yeah, it's a really good team, QPR. I would heavily suggest doing QPR as your FIFA 23 Championship career mode. Now let's get on to the final team. Right, the third team is a team which have had a takeover recently and have done a lot of insane transfer business. Hull City, obviously taken over by a Turkish owner which has pumped a load of money, and they've made so many fantastic signings, like two fantastic players above championship level, spent last season on loan at Watford. Seri, you know, formerly of Fulham, formerly of OGC Nice as well. We'll know how good he was from his time at there. Adama Traore, not the Adama Traore that you're thinking, the centre midfielder that formerly played for FC Metz. Estwina, who has been absolutely insane in real life. I believe he scored 7 goals so far in the Championship, and I believe he is the league's top goal scorer. And Pelkas, a Greek left winger who's joined them on loan from Feyenoord. They've also signed Figueiredo, formerly of Nottingham Forest, the Portuguese centre-back. Nathan Baxter has joined in a permanent deal. So has Christou, spent multiple loans out and spells at clubs like Nottingham Forest, Swansea, Derby County, Fulham. Side Mensah's joined on a permanent basis. Fantastic players. Going to probably be better to convert into maybe a winger. I think I would suggest left or right winger. We've also got Tete, who looked absolutely built, 6'4", you know, striker, 78 physicality, 90 strength. He looks unreal. They've also signed Cynic, a Turkish winger. Ryan Woods from Birmingham, you know, central defensive midfielder. They've brought in a lot of fantastic players. A youngster called Colville from Forest Green, and they've also still got like a lot of really good first team, relatively, you know, depth type of players. You know, you look at Liam Walsh, you know, Levi Coyle, you know, and some of the players like Jacob Greaves, left foot centre back, 6'8" rated at 21, got bags of potential. Hull will probably have a big transfer budget coming in the new season. I can imagine they'll have 6 or 7 million, you know, to their name. They've got a fantastic squad full of fantastic players, and I definitely would suggest Hull. So I would suggest for Hull, in terms of transfers, have a look at Turkish league based players, obviously, and Turkish players, and their owner has got massive connections with Fenerbahce. Obviously, Pelkas, new signing, signed them from Turkey. Sedimenta, Turkish league. Tete, Turkish League, Tufan, Turkish League. I believe even Seri, if I'm not wrong, did play in the Turkish League at some point. Cynic, Turkish League. You know, and they've also got some, you know, they've all signed some good championship players as well. So I would look towards maybe signing championship fringe players and fringe teams. You know, like Figueiredo, Ryan Woods, Christie, and Turkish League players. They haven't made many signings which haven't been from Turkey. Obviously, Esperanza joined from a Portuguese league club, and Adama Traore, who I believe was out on loan to a Turkish team last season, but formerly of FC Metz. Callum Elder, another fantastic player, formerly of Leicester City, been one of their players of the been one of their players since he's joined. Really fantastic left back. It's a really good team, and to be honest with you, I don't even know what you would upgrade in this team. You know, like, you look at baby, he's only 21, 6-7 rated. Maybe potentially you might need another fullback potentially. You know, maybe on the left hand side. But then again, you could always convert Coyle into a left back, or maybe even Josh Emmanuel, who's young, and you also got Fleming, who's only 22 years of age, 63 rated. But yeah. Right, so that is what I would suggest as my 3 career mode teams you guys should try in FIFA 23. Let me know which one, if any of you guys are going to try out any of these, and if any of you guys have found these videos helpful. If any of you guys could subscribe, that'd be brilliant. Thank you all for watching, and have an amazing day. Take care, much love, speak to you soon. See ya.